Hello. Today I'm joined by Paul Hiscox from Xerox. Nice to have you here today, Paul.
Pleasure.
Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
We are going to learn a little bit more about what Xerox do in the UK. Can you start by telling our audience, I know the brand as a print organisation, but what is it you actually do?
It's a good question. Yep, you probably have heard of our managed print division worldwide. I think we're known as a verb in the US as well. But yeah, we Xerox in UK have started about just over 3 years ago in terms of IT services and being able to offer our entire kind of portfolio and our managed service offerings. We've come out of it was just before lockdown when we started providing services, and Xerox started from kind of an acquisition. So it's 4 companies acquired from across the UK to be able to provide a kind of complete IT service offering. So we're kind of quite new boys on the block in terms of our kind of legacy. But if you look back at the Xerox brand from an IT service offering, we were the founders of Ethernet. So we've got a real pedigree of working, especially in that networking sector. So yeah, that's who we are. We're very focused around our managed service offering.
Yeah, wow. I had absolutely no idea that you were founders around Ethernet, and obviously that's key and important piece of technology that we all knowingly or unknowingly use today.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about your managed service offerings and what it is that you deliver to your customers as part of that.
Sure. Yeah, our focus has always been around, I guess, in some respects, as a legacy of our managed print service offerings, is that we're very service oriented. It's not very much about providing technology or brown boxes to our customer base. It's about working in partnerships and being able to offer the value added solutions, but in that service offering, that managed service offering space, because it's about partnerships ultimately, and it's about ensuring that our customers and our clients really get, the bang for the buck, the cost and the transactional value, but being able to hit their business goals and market with them. And that's really what we're about. We're about being able to provide that through our managed service offerings. And again, we've got a very long-standing kind of pedigree offering those MSP services.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you do. Obviously, part of the reason we're here today is to talk about a couple of case studies that we've worked with yourselves in partnership with, and partnership is a real key thing. Yeah. Can you explain to our audience a little bit about some of the solutions, and there's a particular one that I'm thinking of at the moment, some of the solutions that we've helped yourself deploy, and where did it come from? Where did that opportunity kind of arise from?
Sure, yeah. So the opportunity that we're kind of talking about is it's very much about healthcare focused customer base. And healthcare is a challenging sector, I guess, in many ways, and it's different to many other sectors in terms of the demands of what's needed and the sort of customer requirements. This opportunity came about as a part of the digitalization and transformation program from within the NHS. So there's a big driver around electronic patient record solutions, so digitizing paper-based services. And you can imagine still now, we still go around hospitals now where there's reams and reams of paper and medical records distributed all over the place. So it's about a focus on improving clinical care, improving processes, digitizing all of this material and all this sensitive material too. So the opportunity came around from the Southwest, so one of the largest acute hospital trusts, working around their whole EPR program, so the electronic patient records program. So digitizing all of that content and making sure that the network and the infrastructure within the campus of the hospital and the trust is fit for purpose to deliver access for digital content. So all of those medical records need to be accessible by bedside clinicians through to administration, through to other areas of the hospital. So that's where it's come from, that NHS driver, to make sure that they go through this digital and transformation program.
Yeah, and I know that we obviously worked with yourselves on that project. Again, if you could take me through kind of the selection process, as it were, for why you chose to work with a particular partner, in terms of vendor, and what that gave you as a slightly different outcome to the trust.
Yes. If we start with the vendor, perhaps probably the easiest thing to kind of to demonstrate some real value add. This particular healthcare trust were already wedded to HPE Aruba as the vendor, but older generations of Aruba technology. And it was important to look at being able to offer the value add around whether it be AI intelligence and AI operations from managing that network, because this is an infrastructure which is focused on both wired and wireless, so it's a true mobility network, and leveraging content in the cloud and into their data center. The only vendor that we could see that could be able to deliver all of this kind of not necessarily bespoke, but flexible and agile network was Aruba. It's something that we're very passionate about in terms of the service offering that we provide, is that it has to be agile, fit for purpose, and very flexible in the approach. So I'm migrating them from obviously an older technology version to a newer version, the path that is least resistant, if you like, in that respect. But they understand a lot of value there around the whole CX technology stack. There's a whole, there's hundreds of switches going into this in terms of uplift from their core through to their edge access layer, and their wireless uplift as well, going up to 6E across the whole hospital too. So it's a real technology kind of transformation program. Why we work with TD SYNNEX and as a partner to kind of assist and deliver this is practical. It's about the support, and it's about the underlying competence through that partnership. We need somebody that can ensure that there's no slips, there's no gaps, everything is on time, we get visibility of everything. And we feel we get that from the relationship and the partnership with TD SYNNEX.
Yeah, thank you. We do definitely try our hardest to make sure that we can absolutely support our partners in that way. And it sounds like from what you've described, what you're trying to deliver in that trust, it sounds like Aruba has been really fit for purpose, as much as they were already a HPE network customer.
Yeah.
It's moving them to that next layer.
Yeah.
So we've spoken about that particular project. Is there a particular reason why any kind of NHS trust should be looking to work with Xerox? I know you said that you're fairly new into that market, but it sounds like you've already kind of put a stake in the ground and have got some legacy in that space.
Yeah, for sure. I think we'd like to work with more trusts across the country. We very much feel that through the partnership approach and understanding what those goals are for the delivery of not just an EPR program, because this process was about EPR and is focused on EPR. But yet you go into a healthcare setting, you need to understand that this is different to traditional networks, to different business or education or other sectors. We're very strong in other sectors. But that healthcare focus and that particular ownership of understanding that business goal, these are networks that are genuinely, about life and death, and the critical nature of delivery. And, through our, I would say, certainly our exemplary sort of project management of the deployment of this project understands the severity and the critical nature of what that network is providing. So it's different. So, our USP, I guess, in some respects, is really, really understanding what healthcare is all about and how that network and the infrastructure needs to support all of the different aspects of, from guest visitor, patient care, through to clinicians, bedside, through to operating theatres and all the third-party services and applications that are ran. We've still got very, very legacy old technology being used as part of medical equipment. So that needs to be supported and be visible and secured, because of course security is a huge, huge aspect of this project. So from a Xerox perspective, we understand that healthcare sector. We know it inside out now, and we're very confident about understanding that. And being able to drive through an exemplary sort of project delivery, it's a win-win for us, and a win-win for that NHS Trust too.
Yeah, and it sounds like as well, not only is this project obviously focused fundamentally on the ERP side of things and the patient records, but actually once you've landed that solution, there is obviously a lot more other things that the trust can do. So you talk about legacy technology. We know that a lot of the newer technologies that are coming out for kind of scanners and things, they all have an IoT look and feel to them. So that gives them the ability to kind of move with the future. Do you envisage helping and supporting the trust along those side of things as well?
Yep, comes back to that partnership thing again, right? So very much so. So again, the focus is about delivering an EPR infrastructure and network which is fit for purpose to deliver that solution. But we're also now looking at things like user experience. So that could be from, again, clinicians or staff being able to access reliably where they're working. So the Aruba's UXI is coming into play now, starting to evaluate through critical and key areas of the hospital to see where performance is required for those EPR applications. But that will also then extend out to things like their voice calling, VoIP services and their IoT services too. So about understanding the performance and the visibility of that. So UXI is a good example of where we're extending from the original kind of brief into some more value add because we understand that that whole solution is required.
Yeah. Thank you so much for giving us insight, Paul, into why Xerox and why NHS trusts are choosing to work with you. I think it's really important that you absolutely understand and you are delivering an excellent outcome for those trusts. And like you say, it is real life or death. And very rarely can we say that. We're influencing that and supporting that. If anybody wants to get in touch, please contact Paul and the team.